gonna ask to go. I'm gonna go to North Broward if I can. And excuse me, who's there from North? Let me hear.
Yes, ma'am.
I understand you guys have some problems there with some inmates.
Yes, Stevens.
Stevens. No, tell me about the problem you're having.
Well, he's agitated about coming down to magistrate. He claims
Mr.
that.
Stevens, have a seat and be an adult. I'll be right with you. All right, Sarah Lopez Gill.
She's also at North Broward.
Sarah Lopez Gill, please. I'm in Broward. I'm looking at Broward, but there's nobody there. Hi, ma'am. Looks like, are you Sarah Lopez Gill?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yes, you've got a battery charge, domestic violence. I'm setting your bond at $5,000. I do find probable cause and no contact with the alleged victim. Do you understand me? Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
Judge, the $5,000 is a bond she can't afford. I believe that she
I
has
haven't asked her any questions, and neither of you. How do you know she can't afford it?
because I spoke with her, Judge.
Okay, and so do you represent her?
Judge,
Do you
yes,
represent her?
for the
Did she
purpose of
sign up for the-
magistrate, I do represent her,
Did she
yes.
sign up for the public defender's office, and did she qualify?
Judge.
I'm not gonna let you talk to her if she's not qualified.
Well, Judge, I had an opportunity to speak with her. For the purpose of magistrates,
Did she sign a public
there's
defender
no,
application?
there's nobody there for her to sign up the public defender
That's a shame.
application.
You
But
should fix that.
well, but Judge,
The bond is $5,000.
but the court also has to consider her ties to the community before setting bond, whether or not she's been arrested
Stand up
before.
when you talk to me, first of all. Please, stand up.
Okay.
Now, she's charged with, and I'll make it more detailed if you'd like. I was trying not to embarrass her. But at the same time, there's some allegation that she has struck Tomas Lavka, and that they had been dating, and that she turned violent, throwing items at him, including a remote control, a half-empty beer can, a large metal dog food bowl, and then striking him in the left eye, and a drinking glass fell onto the ground and shattered on the floor, and he attempted to restrain her from throwing any more items, and they slipped on the floor that was wet from the glass. She was bleeding on her foot. It was pretty much a mess in the apartment. And so she got arrested for, the officer had observed the small cut and redness on the victim's eye, as allegedly she was violent. So now, that's what I read.
Right, but Judge, these are also allegations. I also want to proffer that I'm not arguing probable cause. I'm arguing her ties to the community. I did have an opportunity to speak with her, but without.
What are her ties to the community?
She's been living in Broward County, Florida all her life. She's a resident of Hollywood, Florida. She does have a place to stay separate and apart from the person accusing her of this offense. Right. She would reside with her mother. She's currently a full-time student at BCC where she's studying environmental science. She also...
Can I ask her any questions?
Excuse
Am I
me,
allowed to
Judge?
ask her any questions?
I have no objection if the court asks ties to her community.
Ma'am, raise your right hand.
Excuse me?
Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, have you ever been arrested before?
No,
And even as a juvenile? You can put your hand up.
never.
Okay.
But Judge, now the court is asking questions about her arrest record where you have the state attorney here who, if the court would make an inquiry.
$5,000.
Judge, I would
No
object to the
contact.
court setting a
Okay, you're
$5,000 bond without
Subject, counsel, thank you. I did find probable cause, ma'am. Thank you so much. And next is Paulette.
Alexis Paulette.
Pointville.
Oh, this fine. Your Honor, Maine jail.
Thank you.
Your Honor, at Maine, the deputies would like to see if you could address somebody first. What's your name, sir?
Right, Brandon Wright.
Brandon Wright. He's on page 10 of your docket.
Why is that? What is the special nature?
I have no idea.
I need to hear why the special nature he gets treated differently.
Security reasons, Your Honor.
Being a security risk? Is he not
With the-
behaving well or what?
I'd rather, you want me to call you on the phone, Your Honor, and
Yes.
explain it to you? I'd rather not say on the mic.
Sure, call me. I don't even have the phone number here. Try 511, it looks like. What's his name? Hello?
Would
Judge
you be
Brown?
able to prepare a supplement when you?
Okay, no, just, I'm not gonna cut the screen off. Listen, I can do it, it's just he's got PC for a misdemeanor on a warrant. Okay? So it's gonna be no problem at all. I just don't understand, if he's causing a disruption, I see the man standing there as straight as an arrow, so I don't understand why I'm treating people differently. North Broward asked me to do it, you guys are asking me to do it, I just don't understand why everyone else has to wait for them. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, bye-bye. Okay, I'm not gonna call him up early, I want everyone else to be treated the same. Paulette Despointville.
Okay, have a. Your Honor, Paulette Despaville
Yes.
is here present at Maine. Your Honor, Hector Romero with the Public Defender's Office, representing the clients here at Maine for purpose of bond.
For purposes of
Ms.
bond
Despoinville.
only, she hasn't signed up for you guys as an attorney?
Most of them right now are signing up, Your Honor.
Okay,
She
well,
did
when
sign
they
up.
sign up and they're eligible for you, I'm very happy to let you speak on their behalf. Thank you.
Well, Judge, then there's no purpose of us doing what we're doing.
You have, you took 2 counts of touching or striking battery with domestic violence, and I did find probable cause on both, and you're not to have any contact with either victim, and they're charged $5,000 each for the bonds. Thank you very
Your
much.
Honor, Your Honor, if defense may be heard, she's been residing here in South Florida for 25 years. She's unemployed at this time. She just lost her job at Memorial Hospital. She was a patient tech, making $14 an hour. She was doing that for the past 9 years. No money in the bank. Her only property is a 2011 Honda with 100,000 miles, Your Honor. Your Honor, she's a registered voter. We'd be asking you to consider an ROR on Ms. Dispanville's behalf.
And state any priors that you want me to ask the defendant.
Your Honor, 1992, she had a withhold on a violating the domestic violence injunction.
All right, well, no, I took into consideration everything you told me, but I did find probable cause, no contact with the victim. She cannot live at home with 2 children. $5,000 bond each count.
$5,000 bond each count.
Correct.
Okay.
And Linda Jones next. You guys have Linda Jones next?
Ms. Jones is here present, Your Honor.
Thank you. Hi, Ms. Jones. You've been charged with touching or striking a battery domestic violence. I did find probable cause, $5,000 bond, no contact with the alleged victim.
Judge, Judge, one of the things the court can consider is the weight of evidence in the case. The officer in this case couldn't determine who the primary aggressor was. It notes in the PC that she was strangled by the other person. Now, the chances of the state determining who the primary aggressor is at a future time where the arresting officer can't determine that, I would ask the court to set a bond significantly less than the $5,000 bond the court has set.
Your Honor, and also she's been residing in South Florida for 16 years, Your Honor. She is working. She works at Hollister of Aventura. She's been working there for the past year, making $14.50 an hour, Your Honor. She has no money in the bank, no property. To alleviate any of the court's concerns, she does have a separate place to reside other than with the alleged victim, Your Honor. Considering her lack of any serious criminal priors, Your Honor, we'd again be asking you to consider an ROR on Ms. Jones's behalf.
Denied. You guys can take this up with the judge who's going to hear the case.
Judge,
All right, Your Honor. Your
I'm sorry,
Honor,
both of you are talking
also,
at
would
the
you
same
sign an order allowing the Office of Public Defender to photograph her injuries that she
Granted.
has, Your Honor? Thank you.
Amanda
Okay.
Esper.
Amanda Esper, come on up, please.
Good morning, Ms. Esper. You've been charged with touching or striking, committing a battery of domestic violence. After reading the probable cause affidavit, I do find probable cause that your bond is $5,000 and there's no contact with the victim.
Your Honor, if
ma'am.
defense may be heard.
Yes?
She's been residing here her whole life. She's 23 years old. She's working at Chewy's of Dania. She works for the same company for the past 6 months. She did attend a local college, Kaiser University, graduated 2016. She attended a local high school, Plantation High School, class of 2011, Your Honor. This is her first exposure to criminal justice system. She is a registered voter. We'd be asking you to consider an ROR on behalf of Ms. Esper.
Respectfully denied. Next is.
Your Honor, we
Denise.
need a photo order on her.
Granted.
Thank you.
Denise Rivera Torres, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Jill
Ms.
Cole,
Rivera
victim
Torres,
advocate.
Your Honor, Ms. Rivera Torres is going to require Spanish interpreter.
All right, do we have a Spanish interpreter present? If not, we'll put it on recall. Can we get one?
Put on the
Clement,
Toma
please put it
asiento,
on
por favor.
recall.
Okay. Yeah.
How about Kenya Washington?
Ms. Washington, come on up.
Good morning, Ms. Washington. It looks like they've charged you with aggravated battery causing bodily harm or disability as a domestic violence charge. After reading the probable cause affidavit, I do find probable cause. You're not to have any contact with the victim, and I give you a $10,000 bond. Thank you.
Your Honor, if we can be heard, she's been residing here in South Florida her whole life. She's 38 years old. She's not working at this time. She's going to Broward College, pursuing a nursing degree, has a 2.93 GPA. This is her first arrest ever. She is a registered voter, Your Honor. She has 2 kids. Your Honor, we'd be asking you to set a reasonable bond in considering her ties to the community and her financial resources.
I believe under the circumstances, the $10,000 bond is appropriate. Thank you. Alejandro Calvo Saldana. Good morning,
Mr.
sir.
Calvo, stop. It's here, Your Honor.
I see that you've been, hi ma'am, good morning. Please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes. I know this is hard for you. Can you please speak louder because we're being recorded? And do you know Mr. Calvo Saldana?
My son.
Okay, let's talk about that. Are you the alleged victim in this case? Are you Wanda Kanya?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Okay, well ma'am, your son has been charged with a first-degree misdemeanor, punishable up to 1 year in jail. Right now, you know, they give me the opportunity to give a bond. However, also the judge who will hear the case can also consider other things. What would you like to say? Well, first raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth. Yes? Louder.
I did.
Okay, I know you said yes, but it was a little low before. What would you like to tell me about your son?
It's just like, it was an incident, like a misfortune incident.
Okay,
I
so it's
know
an
that he
unfortunate incident.
I know that he didn't have any intention to hurt me.
And what's his history, if anything?
None, Your Honor.
Your Honor, in speaking with Mr. Calvo Saldana, he's been residing in South Florida for 9 years. He's not employed at this time. He goes to school part-time at Sun Ed High School. Your Honor, this is, as the state did confirm, his first arrest ever. He has no property, no money, Your Honor. We'd be asking you to set a reasonable bond.
The best I'll do under the circumstances is $2,500 bond. No, what, do you want contact with your son? I can't hear you, we're being
Yes,
recorded.
please.
No
And-
harmful contact based on the victim's request. Probable cause is found. Thank you, ma'am. $2,500 is his bond. And he's allowed to have contact with you, but only not harmful. If he does anything to harm you again, he'll be in violation of his bond. Do you understand? Thank you. Thank you. Jerry DeRosier.
This Russ here, come on up, sir. He's here present at Maine.
Thank you, Mr. DeRosier. Looks like they've alleged that you committed a domestic battery by strangulation, which is saying that you put pressure on the neck, and when I read it, that's what they allege. Also, that in addition to that, an additional charge of touching or striking, battery, and domestic violence. I do find probable cause for both counts. Count 1, the strangulation charge is a $10,000 bond. Count 2 is a $5,000 bond. No contact with the victim.
Your Honor, if the defense may be heard, he's been residing in South Florida his whole life. He's 29 years old. He does work. He's employed with Under Armour at Sawgrass. He's been steadily employed with the same company for the past 2 years. Your Honor, he is a registered voter. I believe this is his first contact with the criminal justice system. He has no money in the bank, no property. His ties to the community, his family, he's been living in Dade their whole life. We'd be asking you to set a reasonable bond as to counts 1 and 2, taking into account his financial resources and his ties to the community.
administration?
I'm not showing anything. Does pretrial have anything by any chance?
There's nothing.
That's what it is. Well, but after considering everything you've said, I have taken into consideration the safety of the community and the gravamen of the charges, which are allegations at this point. I believe that the court has set a reasonable bond, so respectfully denied.
Okay,
you.
Your Honor. Hey, could you sign a photo order?
Of course, my pleasure. Brandon Gray?
15,000. Come on up, Mr. Gray, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Mr. Gray. You're charged with burglary with an assault or battery, which I did find probable cause. There's a no bond hold for that. It's first degree punishable by life, as well as a touch or strike battery for domestic violence. It's a $5,000 bond. No contact with the victims. PC is found in all counts. So it's no bond for one and $5,000 for the other. I wish you the best of luck.
Right down the middle. Sir. Down the middle, outside. Down the
Sean
middle.
Nichols.
Medical reset.
Not,
Pass it over.
It's a medical reset. So does that go for
Yes, please, Judge.
Carissa Mastuski?
North Broward.
Judge, I did have an opportunity to speak with her. Would the court consider resolving this case? She was in the hospital when she was taken into custody.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
I understand this is a count 2. Does that mean there's another count? pending?
There's a count 1, 2, Judge.
But I don't really want to resolve that because I don't know, I have anything about count 1. So respectfully denied. But ma'am, your bond is only $250. Hopefully you'll get to your judge right away for the warrant that was issued for a misdemeanor for the prostitution charge. That was only a second charge. Thank you. Good luck.
Wait, what's my bond?
$250.
Judge, just so she knows, she actually has a total bond of $750.
Okay.
Count 1 was $500. Count 2 is
Okay,
$250.
apparently there's a count 1 that's not on my docket today. That's $500 bond, plus the prostitution charge is $250 bond, so a total of $750, okay?
I can't bond out.
Well, ma'am, when you get to the judge who put that warrant out for you, hopefully they'll help you either resolve it or get you a bond you can afford, okay?
Judge, if I could present some facts off the record because they do
I'm not
the.
doing anything off the record. You know.
Well, the reason I'm asking for that, and I do have her permission, I asked her if I could tell you off the record. That's the only reason I'm going off the record is because we're being streamed online, and I don't want her medical information, people who are listening to magistrate in bond court,
Okay, so let me
to know
ask you
about
this question. Is it regarding count 1?
It's regarding count 2. It's regarding if the court would consider lowering the bond or in count 2. If the court is willing to do that, I could give mitigation in terms of her health.
And I would appreciate that if she could bond out after I do consider that, but she's already told me I don't think she can bond out on the $500 bond. Ma'am, can you bond out on the $500 bond?
Maybe.
Oh.
I don't know. Now, the 750 is a little too much for me right now. Because of the medical history problems I'm having.
Well, does the state have a problem if I go off the record? I just
No, and just so I can clarify, we're still on the record. It's just not broadcast over the internet.
Okay, how do I do that on the screen?
Pre-trial will show you.
It's audio controls and then sidebar? Okay, very good, thank you. No, that's it. I did not go on the system on. Okay, ma'am,
Okay,
the attorney in this division had made an argument on your behalf that I denied. However, I am going to sign an order that the jail give you all medications. Do you understand? Your bond then is totaled $750, okay? Thank you so much. Good luck. Now Carla Brown. Carla Brown here, thank you.
Carla Brown, Your Honor, I've been advised there's a medical reset at Maine.
Thank you.
And Your Honor, Spanish interpreter is present.
Okay, very good. Where's my Spanish?
But, Your Honor,
Mr. Leal.
Let me check and see how far out he is.
if we could just have one moment, Your Honor, the alleged victim is on his way to court.
Oh, I can wait, if you don't mind.
And we're gonna check, because I don't want to make the Spanish interpreter
Oh, you
wait
don't make him do
unnecessarily.
anything. We'll tell him about what the ETA is, and then he'll come back if he has.
That's why we're calling you.
Perfect.
Well, if you just give us 1 minute, he was, last time we spoke to him, he was really nearby, so.
Yeah, he's on his way. Are we able to call another case?
I don't, I've never met her before.
They may have other Spanish cases that they can.
Yeah, that's true, Your Honor, if you
Right.
want
How about
to,
Victoria Anderson? Where is she?
medical reset, please.
and, Your Honor,
Yes?
I don't know if the court is inclined to see if any of the other jails have Spanish-speaking defendants, we can call those at a turn now.
May I ask at the other
You are?
locations, anyone need a
No, no,
Spanish
come in,
interpreter
no, no.
while we have one here?
Spanish interpreter Rivera Torres at Maine.
Okay. Let me get, what page is that on?
Page 2, Your Honor.
No,
Rivera Torres,
Oh, I
page
see.
2.
Yes, oh, that.
I think he's coming in right now, I believe.
Okay, very good, yes, I believe the alleged victim is here. Everyone wait. Hello? If I could ask Mr. Leal to raise his right hand, you solemnly swear you'll interpret from English to Spanish and Spanish to English to the best of your ability?
Yes, I do, Your Honor. Theodore Leal, Leal for the record.
All right, if I could ask the gentleman to raise his right hand.
Señora, ¿se puede levantar su mano derecha?
Do you solemnly swear or affirm
Solemnemente afirma
the testimony you're about to give
que está a punto de darnos.
will be the truth,
Será la verdad,
the whole
toda la
truth,
verdad,
and nothing
nada
but
más
the
que la
truth?
verdad? Yes.
What is his name?
Nombre? Luis Luna. Sí. Yes.
Sir, we're here because Denise Rivera Torres
Rivera Torres,
has been charged with aggravated battery causing bodily harm
causando lesiones
or disability and a domestic relationship.
de una relación intrafamiliar.
What did you wish to tell me and why are you here today?
Desea decirme la razón que lo traje a usted aquí el día de hoy.
Simplemente yo no tengo cargo contra él.
Simply that I'm not pressing any charges against her.
Esto fue un accidente.
It was an accident.
So understand that I don't have anything to do with whether the charges will be filed.
Yo no tengo nada que ver si los cargos se interponen o no.
Understand?
¿Entiende eso?
Sí.
Yes.
It is the state attorney's office who determines that.
Competencia de la Fiscalía del Estado determinar si hay cargos. Okay.
Your Honor, in speaking with Ms. Rivera Torres, she's been here since June. She moved down here from Puerto Rico, Your Honor. She's a stay-at-home wife. This is her first arrest ever, Your Honor. She lived in Pembroke Pines with her husband. Your Honor, considering the victim is not in fear, seems not to want to go forward. This is her first exposure to criminal justice system. We'd be asking you to set a very reasonable bond as to Ms. Rivera Torres.
And Your Honor, and I'm just noting for the record, because I don't know if, I'm just observing the injuries to Mr. Luna's face, which I'm sure the court also observes.
También puede observarlas.
Based on the level of violence alleged in this matter,
De este asunto,
I do think a bond is necessary, and I'd be asking for no contact. Based not only on the level of violence alleged by Mr. Luna, but also that the defendant herself is alleging that there's been violence committed against her, I think it's in both parties' best interest not to have contact right now.
Es mejor que no tengan contacto
Yes, in
el
the
uno
probable
con el
cause affidavit, they both allege
Vamos a
violence
máximo.
against the other. So it is a concern for the court as to
Nunca
the
la corte
safety
no
of
pasa en
both the defendant and the
preocupa.
alleged victim.
otro.
But taking into consideration,
Tomando en
even though it's an
consideración.
aggravated battery alleged, taking into consideration the victim's
Tomar en
position of
consideración
not wishing to prosecute, I believe that of course
a que no haya
that'll be
un
determined by the state
eso
attorney's
será
office.
por la fiscalía.
I will reduce the bond
Voy a
to
reducir la fianza.
$2,500 based on the victim's wish, but still say they have no contact,
Dígame, que no haya contacto.
funding PC for the arrest.
She doesn't have any place to live.
You'll have to let her live at your place and find a place for
Pero bueno,
yourself
que ella
then.
viva entonces en
There's
su
no
casa y
contact
entonces
between
tendrá
the
que
two of
ir.
you
Mr.
until this is resolved.
Hasta que se resuelva.
And may I suggest you speak to the state attorney's office about what they're gonna do with the case,
Vamos
because
a
as of today,
Hacer la casa.
both of you are alleged to have committed some sort of violence
cometieron algún
in
tipo
this
de
probable
violencia.
cause affidavit, and I'm concerned
Este documento.
for both of you.
Eso me preocupa
That
por
to
la
protect
integridad
both
de
of you
ustedes.
and to assure her
Para
appearance in
protegerlos
court,
y asegurar
and of
que
course,
la corte.
safety of our community.
Y
It's a
por la
$2,500 bond.
$2,500 de fianza.
Again, no contact with each other.
No pueden tener contacto el
I
uno
do
con el
find
otro.
probable cause. Thank you. Thank you, sir, for being here.
Gracias, señor, por estar aquí.
Jane Marie Forshaw. I believe we don't need you for anybody else because I asked all the other facilities, but thank you for being here.
You're very welcome.
Appreciate it. Always good to
Always
see
a
you.
pleasure.
Shane Marie Forshaw, please.
Your Honor.
And good morning. You have a violation of probation on a misdemeanor case of 14-003-977 MM 10A. That's a $500 bond, ma'am, and I do find you guilty of your arrest. You'll go to that judge if you'd like to either handle the case or ask for a lower bond. Thank you. Victoria Vasquez.
Ms. Vasquez, come on up, please.
Good morning, Ms. Vasquez. It looks like you have a violation of probation for a felony warrant. That's 16-00319. Looks like it's 8 CF10A. There's a no bond hold by that judge. I do find probable cause for your arrest, and you'll have to go back to that judge to either resolve the case or ask for a lower bond of sorts, okay? Thank you. Kelly Holton.
Hold on, Your Honor.
Hi, Ms. Holton.
How are you?
Good. It looks like you have a probation violation or a community control violation out of a warrant from either a felony or a misdemeanor, but the judge has a no bond hold for you that I would suggest you go back to that judge and either resolve the matter or ask for a bond because there's a no bond at this point. I do find probable cause. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chastity Jones. Where's Chastity Jones?
What?
Thank you.
Chastity Jones, come on up, please. She's coming up, Your Honor, at Maine.
That's okay.
Hi, Ms. Jones. Looks like you have two felony violation of probation warrants. One is for 15-004-079 CF10A, a no bond hold, and the other is 15-000-230 CF10A, a no bond hold. I do find probable cause for your arrest on both probation violation warrants. And you'll have to go back to the judge to ask him for either resolving the matter or giving you a better bond, okay? Thank you. Good luck. Myrna Jones.
She's over at North Broward. She's represented by private counsel Michael Gottlieb.
And this is Myrna Jones? Hi, ma'am. Are you
Yes,
Myrna?
ma'am.
All right, ma'am, do you have private
Yes.
counsel, Mr. Gottlieb?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
well, he's not here this morning, but I can tell you that you've been charged with a grand theft of over $300 but less than $5,000, and passing a forged or altered bill or promissory note, and possession of marijuana under 20 grams. And for the grand theft, it's a
Well,
$1,000
Your Honor,
bond.
Judge,
I apologize if I could be heard before the
Oh,
court.
sure.
I just want to bring to the court's attention, Ms. Jones is currently out on 2 separate felony offenses.
Judge, she's entitled to consult with her family members and counsel.
This man is allowed to speak to me, and I'll let you talk next.
But she doesn't have counsel. She informed the court that she's represented by private counsel.
Listen, I want to share with you something. Mr. Gottlieb's not here. I'm going to tell her charges and her bonds. That is my obligation. I have no idea what the state attorney wants to tell me, but I'm going to allow him to do that as I will allow you to tell me what you want to tell me in just a moment. Please continue.
Thank you, Your Honor. First, she's out on 2 felony cases, battery on a law enforcement officer, resisting with violence, and disorderly intoxication a second case, 2 counts of aggravated assault with a firearm. And I would just want to note for the record, Your Honor, that the only information I believe the clerk's been given is that she is represented, and I believe represented on those cases by Mr. Gottlieb. I've heard no indication that he's been retained in this matter.
Judge, she has a right. Did she inform me that she's represented by counsel and she anticipates him representing on this case? She has a right to consult with counsel prior to the court setting a bond in the case or deciding whether or not to revoke the bond.
Actually, we agree for a moment that she does have a right, and all I'm doing is telling her her bonds. And if anybody from the state attorney's office would like to do any type of motions before the judges that they're in front of, they're welcome to do that. So ma'am, as I said, as to the grand theft charge, as I'm allowed to tell you, with or without your counsel, is $1,000 bond count 1. As to count 2 is a $1,000 bond. As to count 3 is $100 bond. For these charges alone, it's $2,100 to get out of jail on these charges, okay? I do find peace in the arrest. Thank you, good luck.
Thank you.
Raven Berry. Thank you. All right, Miss Berry, you had some warrants out for some violations of community control for some felony, 14016697 CF10A, and each charge is a no bond hold. You'll have to go back to the judge who put out that warrant so that you can ask them either to resolve it or give you a better bond, but right now it's no bond, and I do find PC for your arrest. Good luck.
You know the
Thank you, ma'am. Good luck. Is Tamara Moore here?
Lord Broward, Your Honor, she's in downtown courtroom.
You know, she was actually in this morning, I think. So I think can we reset it for the afternoon? Anyone? So reset for tomorrow? Is tomorrow okay?
I have no objection.
At 10:21? Okay, very good. Thank you. Brandon Wright. Where's he, North Broward? Or is he Main Jail?
Your Honor,
Hi,
Mr. Wright is here before us.
Yeah, I know.
Good morning,
Mr.
Your
Wright.
Honor.
Hi, Mr. Wright. Good morning.
Come on, how you doing?
Good. Apparently, this is a charge number 6, which is a case for a misdemeanor on case number 16001138 MM38. The bond is $500 because they say you had a warrant. Did you understand what I said?
Do you want me to request a phone order?
I get time served, I can call the
No,
bond?
sir, I'm not working it out because it was a warrant, and it's a $500 bond. I want you to go before the judge that put out the warrant and ask them about the time served, okay? PC is
Can I get it?
Your Honor, Mr. Wright would like a phone order, if he could have an order allowing access to his phone contact for purposes of bond.
That's fine. Can I have an order for that?
Thank you.
Sir, I'm giving you that order for you to try to get bonded out. Thank you so much. Frederick Austin.
He's at Conti, Your Honor.
Conti.
Hi, Mr. Austin. Good morning.
Good morning, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm trying to see, looks like they have charges 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all for warrants on the case number 16017628 MU10A. Count 8 is a $1,000 bond, count 9 is a $1,000 bond, count 10 is a $1,000 bond, count 11 is a $1,000 bond, count 12 is a $1,000 bond, and count 13 is a $500 bond. I do find probable cause for your arrest because these warrants were outstanding. And sir, I don't know what the other charges are or what the amount of the bond is for those.
Yeah, I'm not sure, Judge. All I know, this was actually a KPSU issued from an unserved summons.
All right, that's fine, sir. I signed the warrant myself, so try to get before me, Judge Brown, and we'll see if we can't resolve these matters, okay? Thank you, sir.
Okay, ma'am.
Good luck. Stephen Palmer,
Lord Broward.
thank you.
Yes.
Hi, Mr. Palmer. You have a misdemeanor warrant for you on case number 16003695 MM48. It's a no bond hold by that judge. Probable cause is found for your arrest. You'll have to go before that judge to determine if they'll let you either resolve the matter or give you a better bond, okay? I can't hear you. Thank you, sir. Milton Turnage.
Mr. Turnage is here, Your Honor, Maine.
Maine, thank you.
Judge, this is a municipal ordinance. On an MO48, it would be usually
Hollywood,
Steve
it would be
Shade.
Mr.
Hollywood. It would be Steve Shade. There's no prosecutor here from the city, and there's no attorney here, and he is entitled to counsel.
Well, sir, I can tell you that because of the warrant, it's case number 16003674 MO48. Even without your counsel here, I'm allowed to tell you what that charge is and what the bond is. It's a $100 bond, and I do find probable cause for the arrest on that warrant. Sir, good luck. Hopefully you'll find that counsel, Mr. Shea, as well as get to the judges handling it to try to help you. Thank you so much. Tyler
Your Honor, as a
Vickers?
friend of the court, Your Honor, as a friend of the court, are you going to be appointing Mr. Shake to represent Mr. Turnage?
I've been told that he gets these cases. I'm happy to appoint him if that's accurate. They believe they.
And I don't know if you would like to reset this for this afternoon so
No,
Mr.
I've
Shake could be
appointed Mr.
present,
Shake.
because I
I've
know
been
Mr.
told-
Turnage wants to resolve his case. It's a municipal
Actually, I'm
ordinance.
appointing Mr. Shate, and I don't believe he'll want to actually resolve his case without speaking to his attorney, as you all know.
No, that's why I'm asking you, would you reset it for this afternoon so
Denied.
Mr. Shake could be present?
Well, listen, I'm happy to do that if that's something.
Yeah, it happens on a
I'm happy
regular
to do
basis
that.
where
Mr.
municipal
Shake can
ordinances
be
are
here.
reset for the afternoon.
As long as Mr. Shate can be here. I don't want to speak for Mr. Shate, but I've appointed Mr. Shate, and we'll set him for this afternoon in hopes that Mr. Shate can be here. Is that okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Perfect. Did you reset that? I didn't write it on the note. Thank you. Tyler Vickers?
Mr. Vickers, come on up, please.
Hi, Mr. Vickers. In charge of the trespassing of an unoccupied structure or conveyance, and I did find probable cause for your arrest and pretrial.
Supervised by pretrial services, case number 16-11865 CF10A, one count of burglary of an unoccupied structure, one count of.
I don't hear him.
I believe if memory serves me correctly, this was from the 8th of this month. Based on the probable cause, we're gonna ask that the pretrial status be revoked at this time.
Taking the date, it says it was like on the 12th of October.
Correct, just based on the pretrial,
Okay, that's fine. Sir,
That's accurate.
besides finding probable cause for this trespass charge, which has a bond of $25, pretrial is seeking that I remove the pretrial services based on the allegation that since being placed on pretrial, a new allegation has occurred, and I'm granting their request.
Judge, would the court, I would object to before moving and setting bond and release conditions or revocations, I would ask the court to consider his ties to the community before exercising the court's discretion. The court per the Florida statute shall consider his ties to the community for bond and release conditions. How much money he has in the bank. I understand in this matter the court does have discretion if the court wants to sui sponte revoke bond, but I would ask the court to at least allow Mr. Romero to be heard as to his ties to community before the court setting bond and release
I'll be
conditions.
happy to do that, but I'm also taking into consideration the idea that is alleged while out on another type of pretrial who committed a new offense, and I am supposed to take into consideration the safety of our community and the members of our community, and I'll be happy to ask his ties, but understand that's not the only thing I take into consideration. Yes, Mr. Vickers, please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, what is your ties to community? How long have you lived in Broward County?
My whole life.
And can you tell us your age then?
18.
Okay. And, are you a student?
Yes, ma'am.
And what school do you go to?
Stranahan High School.
And thank you.
Oh, and Your Honor,
Yes?
just to advise the court, that burglary involved an elementary school.
Well, that's what I'm thinking about, because not only am I being told that it's the burglary that was on pretrial is at an elementary school, the allegations in this case are Stranahan High School. So, respectfully, I am granting the motion to revoke the pretrial services based on the concern for the community. And I believe on the trespass charge, the $25 is fair, but on the burglary, both the count 1 and count 2, I've made it a $1,500 bond on count 1 and a $1,500 bond on count 2. Respectfully, sir, see the judge who's in your case and see if they'll reduce it or resolve it. Thank you.
Your Honor, what's the case number on the burglary that you
I'm
mentioned?
sorry, she took the paperwork.
Thank you. All right, so she
Thank you, sir.
said $25 bond, took away pretrial, but gave you a bond of $3,000 on it. So you're gonna go.
That's PC on all counts, all cases. Frank Roth.
Mr. Roth, come on up.
Hi, Mr. Roth. Mr. Roth, it looks like you had a capias out for a traffic criminal matter of 14104429 TC 38. There's a bond by that judge of $500. I'm going to find PC for your arrest and ask you to go back to that judge and ask for either reduction and or resolve in that case. Good luck.
Thank you.
Antonio Weston.
Mr. Weston, come on up.
Judge, this is also a municipal ordinance offense. I think it's from Hollywood.
Hi, Mr. Weston. It looks like Mr. Shade is an attorney who can help you. If I appoint him, would you like that?
What now?
There's an attorney named Mr. Stephen Shade who can help you if you would like that. Would you like that?
Attorney?
Yeah.
What you saying? Yeah, yes.
Okay, good. I've assigned Mr. Shade to the case. Looks like you had a warrant out for your arrest for 16004129 MO40A. There's a $100 bond by that judge, and you need to either post that bond or ask that judge to resolve it or make it less. I do find probable cause for the arrest. Thank you, sir. Good luck. Mr. Shade will be...
Your Honor, Mr. Weston is requesting if you would consider resolving his municipal ordinance.
And that's denied. Thank you. I've appointed an attorney to help him. I keep getting told the attorney gets to help him, and I'll let them do that. Dennis Nedro.
Mr. Nadro? He's coming up, Your Honor. It's a
But
municipal
I
ordinance.
can't, he was picked up on the warrant in Fort Lauderdale, but it seems, I don't know where the MO.
No.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm sorry. Oh, that's what's North Satellite. I'd have to check. It could be Deerfield. It could be Pompano.
What city were you
It's an MO, I did like
three,
All right,
4,
so,
5, 1.
I know, but what city were you arrested in?
All right, Mr. Nedro. If I may have your attention, Mr. Nedro. It looks like you were picked up on a warrant, 16001624 MO28.
Or Pompano.
Ordinance violation may be out of the northern part of our county, Deerfield, Pompano. There's a $100 bond, sir. I find probable cause for your arrest, and I have appointed you an attorney, sir, to help you in this matter named Stephen Shade. And I wish you the best of luck, sir. Thank you.
Your Honor, also Mr. Nedro would be requesting if you would consider resolving his case today.
No, sir, I've assigned you an attorney who can help you.
I already did time for that.
Well, so hopefully he'll get you right to your judge and they can help you, but since I've assigned you an attorney, I believe it's everyone in the room's opinion, you should have time to speak to your attorney. Thank you. Counsel, can I help you?
Good morning, Your Honor. I believe I'm right on time with you. Page 12, Mr. Hornback. Donald
yes,
Hornback.
right
I'm sorry,
at
page 11.
Yes,
Page
it's
11.
fine. Good morning. State your name for the record.
Theodore Jordan on behalf of Mr. McLaurin.
Thank you for being here.
Not a problem. Thank you for being here. I first like to seek appointment on the case.
Okay, first on Donald Hornback, where is he?
Donald Hornback, he's at Maine, Mr. Hornback?
Yes, Mr. Hornback, please come up. You have an attorney who would like to represent you.
I already had one representing this case, I
And
think.
who is it?
And I,
Is it Mr. McLaurin?
yeah.
Mr. McLaurin may already be
What
assigned.
happened was you had a warrant, so it's probably the same guy. Okay, I'm gonna speak louder because you're making a thing like you're putting it to your ear. All right, Mr. Donald Hornback, I'm appointing Mr. McLaurin to help you again. I believe he was on your case originally, but unfortunately a warrant was issued for you on case number 15013118 MO10A. There's a $500 bond, and I'm assigning Mr. McLaurin. He'll come see you or speak to you in court as soon as he can to try to get this resolved with the judge that you have who put out a bond amount of $500 bond. I do find probable cause for your arrest, okay?
And Judge, just for the record, I'm being told by the state case that it's actually goes to your division. I know last time, just for the record,
They're right there. They're still talking about you.
So
That's great. Listen, call me or tell my assistant if it's my case, and just see if you can put it in for a non-jury. Happy to do it.
We'll do.
If I just ask for a date, and we'll give it to you.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you. And the sooner you ask, the sooner I can give it. Thank you so much for being here. All right. Thank you, sir. Your attorney's going to be in touch. We'll get you that non-jury trial you want.
I was in the hospital for 8
Oh,
weeks.
I'm sorry
That's
to
why I
say
missed
that.
court.
I'm sorry to hear that. Omar Dean.
Mr. Hornback.
Yes, ma'am.
that outside.
Hi, Mr. Dean, you have a violation
How you
of
doing?
probation for a misdemeanor from 12
Fine, go up
011098 MM10A with a bond of $5,000 by that judge. And I do find probable cause for your arrest. Please go to that judge to either get a reduction in that bond or resolve the matter. Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Yana.
Yes.
Can I say something right quick?
I'm not sure.
2000.
But just let you know, you're
I-
being recorded. Everything
Okay, it's
you
not a
say-
problem.
What?
It's not a problem, ma'am. I understand.
Okay, as long as you understand that A, you're not under oath, but B, you're being recorded. What would you like to say?
All right. I did 2014. I settled the case. I pled guilty to the violation of probation, but I ended up going to prison. They just released me from prison last night, but they had to bring me here because of the detainer. But I pled guilty to the violation 2014. Is any way can you look up in the computer
Sure.
to see that I pled guilty for it?
I'm looking it
We'll
up.
do that right now, sir. 'Cause if that's a mistake,
Thank you, ma'am.
we want to take care of it right now.
It resolved. Yes, ma'am.
Case number 12011098 MM10A.
I've got the
We
case.
have the number on our docket here.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, Your Honor, it appears what happened, what I'm showing is when he was arrested in 2014, his VOP was resolved at his first appearance. He admitted the violation. Yes, his probation was revoked.
Okay, so what do you want to do?
Just ROR, there's nothing else.
ROR, but he's going to have to go to court?
I don't think, well, what he should do is call his probation officer and probably show up to the hearing in an abundance of caution. But from what I am seeing from a disposition dated 5/29/2014, his probation was revoked.
All right, Mr. Dean, looks like
Yes, ma'am.
you're correct. So I'm
Yes, ma'am.
releasing you on your own recognizance, that's no problem. But because
Yes, ma'am.
it's still as if it's in court,
Yes, ma'am.
I want you to make sure you call that probation officer. Do you know how to reach them?
Yes, ma'am. I can Google the number.
That'd be fine.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you know what judge that is?
It's assigned to Judge Levy Cohen.
It's Judge Levy Cohen is the judge. So you
Yes,
must
ma'am.
have that probation officer somehow contact the clerk and the judge to make sure they release it,
Oh, wait a
dismiss it,
minute.
because it was revoked. Your probation was
Okay.
revoked.
Wait, Your Honor, I'm
Yes,
sorry.
ma'am.
Let me, if I could just have one moment, I just want to check something. 'Cause-
One more second, they
I'm
found
sorry.
something else. Hold on.
Okay, here's what happened.
Here's what happened. Are you ready, Mr. D?
The bond, he was placed on probation for theft and resisting without violence.
Right.
The resisting without violence probation was to be consecutive. Judge Hurley only revoked the probation on the theft, and my guess is he intended to do both, but only did one.
Okay, here's what happened, Mr. Dean. I'm still gonna ROR you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Apparently, there were two counts. They were one
Yes, ma'am.
after the other in probation. So
Yes,
the
ma'am.
fact that you got revoked on count one did not mean you got revoked on count two. And they
Yes,
expected
ma'am.
you to do your probation on count two, and you did not.
She did.
Yes, ma'am.
Judge Levy Cohen signed another warrant about 6 weeks later.
A warrant was signed because you didn't go back to probation for the second count because you thought it was revoked. However, I'm
Yes,
going
ma'am.
to ROR.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
you go to probation and say there was a misunderstanding, and
Yes, ma'am.
get back to court, you have to go to court.
Yes, ma'am. No
I
problem.
want to let them know that count one was revoked, but count two was not, and you didn't know that. And
Yes,
see if they'll
ma'am.
reinstate you or somehow work it out, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And
Thank you so
ROR.
much, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor.
And he has his court date October 26th at 1:30 p.m.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad you saw
Yes.
that.
October 26th, 1:30. Show him.
Thanks a lot. Thank you, Your Honor.
At the bottom. Okay, very good. October 26th. Very good. Thank you. I was looking at the bottom. All right, thank you for your help. Vernon Willis.
Vernon Willix, come on up, please.
You know what I'd like to know in this case? What's the age of the victim?
On this case,
Yes.
one moment, Judge.
I don't see a date of birth on my PC. All right,
Yeah.
Mr. Vernon Willis, you're charged with battery, causing bodily harm and domestic violence.
I'm gonna try to find
The nature
out.
of the injury,
No, it doesn't. She just gave
the
this.
allegations are that the victim is Jordan Tolbert, do find probable cause for the arrest, and there'll be no contact whatsoever with Jason Tolbert. Do you have the victim at birth date?
Your Honor, it's not listed. I'm calling the contact number right now to see if I can find out.
Due to the nature of the charges,
Unfortunately, Judge, there was no answer.
all right, I'm finding PC, no contact, sir. I'm placing your bond at $10,000.
Your Honor,
Judge?
if I could be heard
Yes.
before you impose a bond and listen to Mr. Willick's ties to community and his financial resources.
Sure.
He's been living in South Florida for 3 years. He is currently employed. He works for Comcast. He's been steadily employed at the same place of employment for over 2 years. He makes $12 an hour. His financial responsibilities, Your Honor, he takes care of his household financially, Your Honor. He only has $400 in the bank. He has no property, Your Honor. To alleviate any of the court's concerns, he does have a separate place to reside other than with the alleged victim. I know, Your Honor, one thing you look at is you look at the totality of the circumstances. You look at the strength of the case that's before you, but you also must take into account his ties to the community and his financial resources, Your Honor. So therefore, taking everything into account, we'd be asking you to set a reasonable bond as to Mr. Willis' behalf.
I believe someone else would like to speak to me as well. Your name for the record.
Yes, Judge. Nadine Gerard with the Public Defender's Office, Chief Assistant of the Early Representation Unit. Judge, Mr. Romero actually interjected, but I'd object to the court setting a bond before allowing us to be heard with regard to ties to the community and any mitigating factors.
Oh, okay, so I said that. Do you have any more to add?
That depends on what the court's ruling is.
Anything more to add regarding the gentleman who?
Well, I'm not, no, Judge, not with regard to him.
May I ask his criminal history?
Yes, Your Honor. Out of Polk County in 1992, 2 counts of selling cocaine, actually 1 count of selling cocaine, 1 count of possession of cocaine with intent to sell to deliver, and 1 count of trafficking cocaine. I'm showing in 1992 an arrest for first-degree murder that was dropped, and in 1990 an arrest in Polk County for battery that was dropped.
Nothing else to say?
That's his entire record from what I can see.
So that's over like 20 years, I think, like 2002? No,
92, it's a long time.
14 years.
To give all priors.
May I ask him where he'll live?
Your Honor, he does have a separate place to reside.
Yeah, of course, Judge.
Sir, raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, where will you live and not have contact with this alleged victim?
I will live with my cousin.
Is that local? Is that here
Is that
in
local?
Broward? Is that
Yeah,
here?
that's in Broward.
Okay.
Signing the SSR, this is Pembroke, your First Amendment. Do you have any children? I'm over here. Okay. I'll leave you for life. You can have your seat. Yeah, you can have your seat. We'll do it later.
Excuse for a brief moment.
Yes.
Just need.
Mr. Dusan?
Sir, you work at Comcast?
Excuse me?
You work at Comcast?
Are you gonna hire your own
Yes.
if you want
And how long have you worked there?
Off and on for 2 years.
Okay, like when you say off and on,
2 years. I'm a contractor.
okay, and you're working there now?
Yeah.
Do you work?
I'll reduce the bond of my thought of 10,000 to 5,000, that's the best I can do, knowing the absolute concern I have for the community as well as the victim, as well as the harm done to the victim as alleged in the probable cause affidavit. And my concern also for the age of the victim. Probable cause is found,
5,000.
and no contact with the victim.
Yes.
Herbert Darby?
Mr. Darby, come on up, please.
From 10.
Hi, Mr. Darby, it looks like you say you had a charge of
Yeah,
resisting
no,
or
just give me a
obstructing a
second.
police officer without violence, that's a $100 bond. Also, there's no charge for riding your bike with no lights. So I do find
Your,
probable cause for your arrest, and your bond is $100. Thank you,
Your
sir.
Honor, Your Honor, at this time, I would like to, he's been residing in South Florida for over 40 years, Your Honor. He has no money in the bank, no property. He rents a room in Coral Springs. He's been renting the same room for 6 years. He doesn't know financially who can assist him. Considering this is a misdemeanor offense, Your Honor, without violence, $100 bond for him is tantamount to no bond. We'd ask you to consider an RO on Mr. Darby's behalf.
And what is his history?
Your Honor, Mr. Darby's currently out on a possession of cocaine. He pled out a felony offense. It looks like he's actually on probation right now in circuit court for possession of drug paraphernalia. He was placed on a year's probation July 26th of this year.
Respectfully denied. Thank you. Kirk Hacker.
Your Honor, could you sign a photo order allowing the Public Defender's Office to photograph Mr. Darby's injuries?
Granted.
Thank you.
Kirk Hacker.
Kirkpatrick?
Is Hacker
Kirk Hacker. Kirk Hacker. He's on page 12. We're locating him right now, Your Honor. Hold on.
Thank you.
Hacker. Your Honor, I've been informed he bonded.
Okay, good. Thomas Bailey.
Mr. Bailey, Thomas Bailey?
Hi, Mr. Bailey. It looks like they allege that you were driving while you were under the influence of an alcoholic beverage or chemical substance. The bond for that is $500, and they say you're speeding, don't require a bond. I do find probable cause for your arrest, and your total bond for this case is $500 bond. Thank you.
Thank you.
Shantino Kemp.
So yeah, the person will be bonding you off soon.
On posted on Kemp. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anton Thurston.
Conti, Your Honor. Conti.
Thank you.
Conti, Your Honor.
Hi, Mr. Thurston. Looks like
Good
they
morning.
have a warrant out for you that they picked you up on felony capias, 16010857 CF10A. Bond is $5,000 bond. You'll have to go see that judge, sir, to determine if you want to resolve the matter or ask for a lower bond. Thank you, sir. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
Timmons.
Also Conti, Your Honor.
Hi, is Mr. Timmons there?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Conti.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Timmons.
Good morning,
Looks like
ma'am.
they've added some charges to you. Counts
Yeah, I see that,
21
ma'am.
through 44. They're all fraud, uttering a false instrument as to counts
Yes,
21,
ma'am.
22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. And those are each a $1,000 bond.
Yes, ma'am.
And then 28 is a forgery or altered public record certificate. That's a $1,000 bond. I might be missing a page. Maybe
I'm sorry, Judge.
I only have 21 through 28, and then, oh no, here it is. 29 through 35. I found it. The count 28, as I said, was the forgery, altering a public record. 29 is fraud, uttering a false instrument. 30 through 36 is forgery of a public record certificate. 37 is forgery, altered record. 38, forgery, altered record. 39, forgery, altered record. 40, forgery, altered record. 41, forgery, altered record. 42, forgery, altered record. 43, fraudulent possession of an ID of another person without consent. And 44, fraudulent use of a possession of an ID of another person without consent. Every one of those charges, all 24, have a $1,000 bond. And I do find PC for your arrest. And any concern from anyone in the courtroom I should consider before I finish this case?
Just to let you know, Judge, his first 6 counts, which were fraud charges, he has a total bond of $120,000 on those, so I'm satisfied with.
Okay, and that's fine, but there's also charges from 7 through 21. I don't know what those are.
Oh no, those have already been handled in first appearance also.
I just want to make sure those are done.
Yes.
So, sir, your total for today's new charges are $24,000, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand
Thank
the
you.
charges? You understand?
Yes, ma'am, he did.
Probable cause is found.
Yep.
Thank you, sir. Good luck. Timothy Kelly.
on Mr. Kelly. I mean, unless
Your
I'm
Honor,
missing.
I've been informed he's in regular court, Timothy Kelly.
Okay, we have to reset him then.
Okay.
We'll reset that for your argument. And then do we want to reset it for tomorrow or to this afternoon? Which one? 10:21? Just want to make sure for my record. William Butler?
All right.
All right, Mr. Butler, good morning.
Good morning,
Looks
ma'am.
like they've alleged you have a grand theft. It looks like they're adding charges to you. We've got count 3 as a grand theft with a $1,000 bond. Count 4 is false owner information for pawn items less than $300 with the $1,000 bond. Count 5, 6 are the same charge, $1,000 bond each. False owner information for pawn items less than $300. Count 7 is dealing in stolen property with a bond of $3,500. Again, 8, 9, and 10, which I don't understand, they're false owner information, pawned items, $300 or more, but they have $3,500 for those charges. I'm reducing those to $1,000 to be the same as the counts,
And,
2, 4, 5, and 6.
and Your Honor, just to advise, the rationale for the different convenience bonds
Yes.
is the first 6 counts were for pawn items less than $300,
Oh,
and
I'm
those
sorry,
are
you're
for
right. I apologize.
items over.
I read it wrong. You're right, I have to leave it $3,500. Thank you for letting me know. Sir, unfortunately, I misread it. I apologize. Counts 4, 5, and 6 have a $1,000 bond each. Counts 8, 9, 10, although there's still false owner information pawned items of $300 or more, they're a $3,500 bond each. My mistake. As to count 11, it's also for false information on pawn items, $300 or more, it's $3,500. So I'm going to give you a total, but I don't know what your other charges are.
Your Honor, he's being held on counts 1 and 2 on no bond holds for violation of probation.
Is a no bond hold on the others?
Yes, two separate VOPs.
Sir, you have a no bond hold on the other charges that you have for VOPs.
Yes, ma'am.
But today, the bonds that are not the VOPs are 1, 2, 3, 4.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, sir?
Can I ask when this occurred?
Okay, give me 1
Do you have
second.
the
Give me 1 second. 1, 2, 3, 4. So today's bond for these new charges are $21,500, and I'll tell you when they say it occurred. The arrest date was October 13th.
It alleges between June 24th and August 4th of this year, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm trying to find that part. But I did have the arrest date, correct. July 18th, 2016, they say on June 24th, between the dates of June 24th, 2016 and August 4th, 2016, they allege that you did then and there unlawfully and knowingly use or endeavor to use the property of Michael Devlin with the intent to either temporarily or permanently deprive Michael Devlin of the right to the property, and that's when they say it occurred, okay? Does that help you?
Yes, but that was my address, so
Well, sir, I'm just letting you know that's what they allege. You'll go before the judge and you'll have hopefully an attorney help you, whether it be an appointed one or your own that you've hired, and hopefully they can see what happened here, okay? Thank you,
the
sir. Good
charges
luck.
are filed.
I'm sorry?
Are the charges filed? Are the charges
I
filed?
don't know that they're filed
Not
yet.
yet.
Not yet. Okay, not
Thank you,
yet,
ma'am.
sir, okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
Certainly. All right, next is Sean Rich.
He's here, President Maine, Your Honor.
Hi, Mr. Rich. Good morning.
How you doing?
Looks like there's some add charges to you. Count 4 is a failure to stop remaining at an accident involving non-serious injury.
Your Honor, in speaking with Mr. Rich, he's been residing in South Florida for 25 years. He's not employed, no money in the bank, no property. His family, he lives with his family in Pompano Beach in an apartment. They've been residing there in Broward his whole life, Your Honor. Right now, I believe he has he has 3 other cases with 3 other bond amounts. His family can't afford that, Your Honor. We'd be asking you to impose a reasonable bond as to count 4.
Right, I was gonna give him $100 bond. I think that's reasonable.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's
That's good.
And there's no responsibility for a bond on the operating without. Martin Hilera. Hi, Hi, Mr. Hilera. Looks like they have a violation of probation for a felony case warrant of 13-00610 CF10A. Sir, that judge has ordered a no bond hold for you. You'll have to go before that judge to see if they'll either give you a bond or resolve the matter. I do find PC for the arrest. Probable cause. Thank you, sir.
October
Tyrone
25th,
Gauze.
right? Mr. Gauze, come on up.
Hi, Mr. Gauze. It looks like they have a warrant or violation of probation for a felony warrant on 15-00818-6 CF10A. That judge has ordered a no bond hold for you. I do find probable cause for the arrest, and you do have to go before that judge and ask them either to set a bond or maybe to resolve the matter. As to another case, was a habeas out for a misdemeanor, 15-010-186 and then 10A. There's a $500 bond on that one if you're able to get a bond on the other one, but right now the other one's still a no bond hold, okay? You go to court
All right.
October 25th. Good luck, sir. Jonathan, who, P-O-U?
Jonathan Poe, P-O-U, Jonathan? Is he regular court. Your Honor, I've been advised he's in regular court at this time.
Okay, so we'll reset for tomorrow?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. Jose Ortiz?
Judge, unfortunately, I
Mr.
didn't get a chance to read his PC. I didn't get any paperwork attached. No.
I believe it's in.
Oh, I see, based on a habeas. Do you have any piece information you can give to the Assistant Public Defender?
One moment, Your Honor. Yeah, I believe it's in the clerk system.
Mr. Ortiz, good morning.
Anything about 1025 there?
There's apparently 2 charges in one case. Case number 16-009-762 CF10A. That's still outstanding. And for some reason, there was a warrant, probably for the allegedly a failure to appear.
Your Honor,
Judge Porter.
if I may, this is from a not in custody habeas. It's no bond pursuant to administrative order that for a bond to be set. It was the bond. This bond was not set by Judge Porter.
Okay, I would like to hear a criminal history.
Of course.
But I want to give the Assistant Defender a chance to read what he can find.
Of course.
It's unoccupied structure and conveyance, so.
I think it's
I don't know
yeah,
why they did that, because when I do mine, summons and stuff, I give them the
well,
bond.
that's the way it works. For the summons, the clerk brings the when they can't serve a summons, they bring it to the judge. But for felonies, when we file a not in custody information, the clerk automatically issues the capias. Yeah, gentlemen, is there still a Dade? There's an active Dade County hold? Okay,
Oh, there's
so
a hold in Dade County? Okay, well, that's one thing I didn't know. Mr. Ortiz, apparently, can you hear me?
Yes, Your Honor, we can
Okay, I
hear
just
you.
want to make sure, apparently, sir, there's a Dade County hold, they're gonna try to.
I
get
believe he was in Dade County, Your Honor. He bonded out, and that's why he was transported here to Broward.
Oh, that's
is
great.
there, yeah, he's going back there.
Apparently, he's loaned. He says
We
he
didn't hear
bonded
you.
out.
Well,
I bonded
as
out
far
the
as
bond
Dade
here.
County is concerned, they have a hold that apparently BSO is verified. He will be going back there. So.
Well, I don't know what happened and what he believes, but they apparently have verified that he has like an on-loan status, and they're gonna take him back there as soon as he's done here. So unfortunately, there's miscommunication one way or
Oh, you have
another.
2 burglars.
Sir,
I'm just waiting here.
I was just gonna give him a bond on this.
Well, I would just
Your
like to
Honor, if we can
advise
be
Your
heard
Honor
after
of
the
his.
state?
I'm sorry, what?
If we can be heard after the state tells you his
Yes,
prior.
absolutely, yes. Very good.
Your Honor, this out of Monroe County, 2013, trafficking and stolen property, possession of a firearm or ammunition by an adjudicate.
Can he hear, counsel, in the jail? Is he able to hear this? Because
We have a hard time listening if people
I'm
don't
sorry,
talk
I
into
just
the
wanted to
microphone.
make sure it's accurate. They're giving me some information information about a serious charge, and I want to make sure he hears it because it's serious, okay? So I want to make sure
Right.
he hears what they're saying. If you
To,
can't hear us, let us know. Why don't you
please.
stand up or something? I want you guys
Well, I
to
got the
stand up.
microphone right here. It's
A microphone too?
We,
2000.
I didn't know you had a microphone.
No,
I'd like you to stand up when you have a microphone.
of course. 2013 out of Monroe County,
Can you hear us?
yes, Your Honor.
Speak louder. Okay.
trafficking in stolen property, possession of a firearm or ammunition by an adjudicated delinquent, trafficking in stolen property, false ownership info to a pawnbroker, and a credit card fraud from 2011. He was sentenced on all charges to 3 years in Florida State Prison. 2004 out of Dade County, strong arm robbery and burglary with assault, 3-year state prison. 1995 out of Dade County, armed burglary and grand theft, sentenced to 18 months state prison. 1994 out of Broward, attempted burglary of a dwelling, a year and a day state prison. Dade County in 94, burglary of a structure and grand theft, 18 months state prison.
And what did you wish to say, counsel?
yes, Your Honor. Speaking with Mr. Ortiz, he's been residing in South Florida his whole life. Right now, unfortunately, he's not employed. He lives with his grandparents, Your Honor. He lives with his grandmother and grandfather. They're elderly. He's their sole caretaker, Your Honor. His grandmother has heart conditions. His grandfather's dealing with cancer, Your Honor. He has no money in the bank, no financial resources. His only property to his name is a Chevy van, year 2000, which has over 200,000 miles. So financially, he's indigent. We'd ask you to take his financial resources, talents, ties, and impose a reasonable bond as to counts 1 and count 2, Your Honor.
Your Honor, the only thing I would ask, and I was reviewing the transport order signed by Judge Porter, and in her order, she specifically states that the sheriff of Broward County shall keep the said defendant in custody until the proceedings have concluded, and shall thereafter return defendant from whence he or she came. In light of that, Your Honor, I would ask if the court would be inclined to keep it in no bond, let Judge Porter to ensure that there can be no issue with him being brought before her on October 25th, next Tuesday, and then Judge Porter can set a bond as she sees fit on Tuesday.
Well, let me ask counsel, who's, I believe, is helping today, for the today only. Did you hear what Judge Porter had written on that order?
Your Honor, I did hear that. Unfortunately, we would respectfully disagree. This charge, he's not accused of missing court. This isn't a PBL. There are certain cases in which defendants can be held no bond. I don't believe that the count 1 and count 2 falls into those categories. I would ask you to give him a reasonable bond as to count 1 and count 2.
And Judge, he's...
One moment,
Put that up while you talk, yes.
He is entitled to a bond as a matter of right on this type of offense.
And I just want to know if he's had any failures to appear to concern Judge Porter enough that she would write such a thing. It's the first time I've ever heard that a judge wrote that. So that's the only thing I'm going to say before I determine what I'm going to do.
Your Honor, I don't see any failures to appear. If I may, one thing that could possibly concern Judge Porter, obviously this is scheduled, I believe, it says it's scheduled for arraignment. The concern could be, and knowing that he's in custody, to ensure that that arraignment takes place.
Do we have a date?
Yeah, it's in the order. It's scheduled for Tuesday.
This coming Tuesday?
Yes.
All right. Respectfully, over the defense objection, I'm going to have to make it a no bond until he's arraigned on Tuesday. And may I request, if he does have the assistance of the public defender, to file a motion for some sort of bond with Judge Porter, who knows more about the case than the gentleman. I feel a little uncomfortable since she's written that on her order to do anything differently. He's found.
Your Honor, for the record, I will also advise the prosecutor assigned to let them know they need to let Judge Porter know the issue with the bond.
Thank you so much. All right. Nathan Priester?
No bond, Tuesday.
No bond. You'll see your judge on Tuesday, sir.
Can the court write in the order that the court to set bond because you're talking about,
Yeah, sure, I'm happy
you're
to
talking
write
about
that.
4 or
Judge
5
Flores,
days.
Consider a bond. I'm
Yeah.
happy to do that. Write the order and I'll sign it. Hi, Mr. Priester. You have a violation of probation warrant for a felony. It's case number 15003859 CF10A. The judge in that case has ordered a no bond hold. You're going to go to court on October 24th. I do find probable cause for your arrest, sir. Good luck. Gabriel Lozano.
Mr. Lozano?
Hi, Mr. Lozano. It looks like you had a
Morning, Judge.
violation, good morning, of community control, some sort of supervision on case number 15000370 CF10A. The judge in that case for that warrant put out a no bond hold. You'll have to go before that judge to either resolve the matter or seek a change of that cause for your arrest. Thank you, sir. Good luck. Leslie
Leslie, how do you pronounce your last name?
Boudoir.
Mr. Boudoir.
A violation of probation felony warrant out for your arrest with 15015351 CF10A. That judge has ordered a no bond hold. You'll have to go before that judge to have them determine if they'll change that or to resolve it. I do find probable cause for your arrest. Thank you, sir. Zane Thompson Henry.
Your Honor, Mr. Thompson Henry declined to serve with the PD. He did advise me he's going to be hiring Mr. Harry Geisinger, Your Honor.
Okay, sir, let me share with you that you were
Jonathan
arrested.
Francis, where you at?
All right, Mr.
Okay,
Two charges, one is
Okay, well, I'm gonna need time to talk to
1407526 CF10A. The judge in that case ordered a no bond hold. As to the other one, it's a violation of probation for 14010123 CF10A, another no bond hold. You'll have to go back to that judge to determine if they'll allow you to have a bond and or resolve the matter. I do find probable cause for your arrest.
Excuse me, you could tell me my 2 cases? I'm not sure.
Jonathan Francis, are you there?
Well, Your Honor,
What I'm here for today?
that's it. Your Honor, if I could have a moment, I need to speak to him.
Okay, no problem. We'll put that on recall.
One moment, Your Honor.
Thank you. Al Trayon Cummings. Is Mr. Cummings there?
Your Honor, we're ready on Mr. Francis, Jonathan
Oh, that was
Francis.
fast. Are you sure? All right, back to Jonathan Francis. What is his history?
Well, obviously, Your Honor, you can see he's on probation for the same offense.
Yo.
Hold on a minute.
Anything else?
That's I'm checking right now, Judge.
Okay. While he's checking his history, why don't you tell me what you'd like to tell me, counsel?
Your Honor, he's been residing in South Florida his whole life. Financially, he has no resources. He's unemployed at this time. He has no money in the bank, no property. He's financially indigent, but he's been in the community his whole life, Your Honor.
Okay, Your Honor.
Thank you.
In addition to count 2, he has a pending, looks as though he has a pending case in front of Judge Bailey for burglary of an occupied dwelling and strong arm robbery. And in addition, just to let you know, in addition to the, on count 2, in addition to the attempted robbery, there was also a charge of battery.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
In this case, Mr. Francis, on count 1, I do find probable cause for your arrest. A robbery with no firearm or weapon. However, in the probable cause affidavit, it is alleged that you made some threats. So I'm ordering bond of $50,000 for that charge. Count 2 is a probation violation of community control felony warrant for 14011094 CF10A that the judge has ordered a no bond hold, and you'll go back to that judge to determine if they'll give you a bond and or resolve the matter. I wish you the best of everything, sir. Probable cause is found on both charges. Thank you. Al Trayon Shavaz Cummings.
Mr. Cummings is here present, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, sir, you're charged with count 1, aggravated child abuse. I do find probable cause for that arrest. Count 2 is neglect of a child with great bodily harm. Count one, here's the record he has.
Your Honor, he has no criminal record. That being said, Your Honor, I believe the level of violence and allegations in this case are of such an aggravating nature. I'm going to be requesting a $50,000 bond on count one, a $15,000 bond on count two, and no victim contact.
How old was the child?
All right, and what did you want to say?
Yes, Your Honor. And speaking of Mr. Cummings, as the state did confirm, this is his first arrest, first exposure to the criminal justice system. He's 19 years old. He's been living in our local community for his whole life, Your Honor. He is employed. He works at a car wash, making approximately $7 an hour. Your Honor, he's also going to school. He goes to Sun Ed education. My understanding, Your Honor, is that the alleged victim no longer live at the residence, Your Honor. He's going to be living in North Lauderdale with his sister, Your Honor. Financially, he doesn't know who could post his bond. He has no money in the bank, no property, Your Honor. We ask you to consider, along with what the state's asking you to consider, his basically lack of any criminal history, his ties to the local community, and his financial resources, and impose a reasonable bond as to counts one and count two.
Take into consideration the allegations as well as the safety of our community, as well as, of course, that he has no history. The state, I believe, in their request of asking $50,000 bond on count one was reasonable. And count two, I'm gonna state a bond of $10,000. So, sir, you can get out on a bond of $60,000. I do find probable cause for the arrest on both charges, as well as no contact with the alleged victim in the case. Thank you. Steve Plancher.
Mr. Plancher?
Yes, if you want to put it towards.
Okay, yes, I did read this earlier. I had some paperwork on Mr. Plancher earlier.
I think it was, yeah, they provided the warrant, not the affidavit.
Hi, are you Mr. Plancher?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Now, I have the charges here. Count one is racketeering, a violation from case number 160314AF10. That's a bond of $250,000. Count two is an accessory after the fact of a first-degree felony from 160314AF10 with a $250,000 bond. Count three is the delivery of cocaine within 1,000 feet of a school or church or care center or child care or park. Also in the case of 160314AF10A, that's a $25,000 bond. Count four, delivery of cocaine within 1,000 feet of a school or child care or park, a 160314AF10A is a $25,000 bond. Count five is delivery of cocaine within 1,000 feet of a school or child care or park of 160314AF10A, it's $25,000 bond. Count six is the delivery of cocaine within 1,000 feet of a school or child care or park, 160134AF10A is $25,000 bond. Count seven is the delivery of cocaine within 1,000 feet of a school, child care, or park, 160314AF10, and that's $25,000 bond. Did you want to say something?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, the state has actually already filed information regarding these charges, and the state no infoed counts 6 and 7, so I would ask that those bonds be ROR'd.
Okay, I'll ROR those since they were no info, that's fine. So they decided to not charge you with count 6 and 7. So you only have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So your total bond on this case is $575,000. If you'd like to bond out, I do find probable cause for the arrest. And
Your Honor?
yes, go ahead.
And speaking of Mr. Plancher, he's asking you if you would reconsider lowering his bond. He's been in South Florida for 25 years. He's not working right now. He's taking care of his mother. His mother does have serious heart conditions. He has no money in the bank, no property. He lives in Fort Lauderdale with his mom, Your Honor. We'd be asking you to consider lowering counts 1 and counts 2, Your Honor, to $50,000 each.
After considering the affidavit for arrest, I'm denying your request respectfully. Thank you for asking. Jeffrey Goodwin?
Mr. Goodwin declined the services, Your Honor. He informed me that he's hiring private counsel.
Very good. But Mr. Goodwin, I want to share with you on count 1, it's an aggravated battery charge causing bodily harm or disability. And I do find probable cause for that. And also count 2 is an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon without intent to kill. On count 1, after seeking, may I hear his history?
Yes, Judge. Your Honor,
Where you going?
first, to bring to the court's attention, Mr.
Goodwin?
Mr. Goodwin is out right now on a pending trafficking oxycodone and resisting without violence. 2012, possession of oxycodone. 2011, fleeing or attempting to elude law enforcement. 2011, possession of oxycodone with intent to sell or distribute. 2011, possession of cocaine with intent to sell or distribute. Additionally, in 1997, Your Honor, he was convicted of robbery with the firearm, attempted armed kidnapping, and 2 more counts of robbery with the firearm. He violated his probation and was sentenced to 13-year state prison. 1996, possession of cocaine. 1996, possession of cocaine.
All right. And Mr. Goodwin, you're not using the services.
Actually, Your Honor, I misspoke. He changed his mind, and I've been informed he did actually sign up with us, Your Honor.
Okay, tell me his community.
He's been residing in South Florida his whole life. Right now, he's unemployed. He's looking for work, Your Honor. He has no money in the bank, no property. He lives with his father in Pompano, Your Honor. We'd be asking you to set a reasonable bond as to counts 1 and count 2.
Well, I have to tell you, though, I'm very concerned about the nature of the allegations, very violent in nature, including allegations of a knife and someone getting stabbed in the lower back with an aggravated battery causing bodily harm or disability. So respectfully, I'm asking for $10,000 bond on count 1 and $10,000 bond on count 2, finding probable cause for both charges, as well as no contact with the alleged victim.
Your Honor?
Yes.
Your Honor, state would ask that the court would also consider, based on the level of violence alleged, his prior offense of violence that he was sentenced to prison on, and the fact that he's out on a felony right now, if the court would also consider a pretrial release with a GPS monitor.
Oh, if he gets bonded out?
If he posts his bond.
Did you want to say anything about that?
Your Honor, at this point, I mean, he basically doesn't believe he can even afford to post a monetary bond. I'd ask you if that you not impose pretrial release. The bond, as it is right now, from his financial position, is excessive, Your Honor. I believe at this time, this is what is appropriate, Your Honor.
And Your Honor, the reason I'm asking, I believe someone that's allegedly trafficking drugs, that's allegedly stabbing someone in the back, sending them to the hospital, that has a prior for robbing someone at a gunpoint, I think it is reasonable for the state and law enforcement to be able to keep track of him where he is.
I have to tell you, the more I think about it, the more I agree with the prosecutor. If he's able to bond out, then I'll put him on pretrial with a GPS monitor just to keep tabs on him, just so he can stay out of trouble. I think it'll help him stay out of trouble as well, as these allegations are serious, extremely violent in nature. So,
Your Honor, in that case, would you consider then eliminating the monetary bond? Because if pretrial is going to help, I guess, satisfy the worries of the state and of the court, then we no longer have the need for the monetary imposition. So therefore, then pretrial with GPS is what we would be asking, Your Honor.
based on his criminal history, respectfully denied. Matthew Roll, yes.
All right.
One second. Yes.
Yeah, I have no objection to level 2.
Yes. Matthew Roll, please come up.
Mr. Roll's here.
Hi, Mr. Roll. Looks like they charged you count 1 as grand theft between $300 and $5,000. That's a $1,000 bond, which I find to be reasonable. Thank you. As to count 2, it's a burglary of an unoccupied structure unarmed. What is his history?
One moment, Your Honor.
None.
What would you like to tell me about his community?
Yes, Your Honor. And speaking of Mr. Roll, he's been in South Florida his whole life. He's 27 years old. At this point, he's a salesman at Joey Arcadi car dealership. He's been working there for a month and a half, Your Honor. Prior to that, he was working at Aldi Food Supermarket. He was working there for almost a year, making $16 an hour. Your Honor, he is a graduate of a local high school. He's class of 2000, Miami Edison High School. He did attend Florida Memorial College, Your Honor, where he received a degree in physical education. At this point, he's trying to get employment as a teacher, Your Honor. He lives in Lauderhill with his wife and 2 children, ages 2 and 10. He's the sole breadwinner, Your Honor. He supports his family. The state will confirm. Basically, he's not a convicted felon. This is his first charge, Your Honor. He is a registered voter. He has no property, Your Honor. He only has $300 in the bank. Your Honor, we'd be asking you to consider on count 2 a $500 bond, Your Honor.
State?
He has no prior records, Your Honor.
All right, so I believe a reasonable bond for count 2 would be $1,000 bond. So count 1 is $1,000 bond, count 2 is $1,000 bond. I do find probable cause for the arrest on both counts.
Your Honor,
Thank you.
I would just ask for a release condition that he's not to return to the business involved in this matter.
No return to the allegation of the victim business, which
I think
it's 3301 North State Road 7, Lauderdale Lakes, Florida 33319. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you, Your Honor.
No return.
You can just write incident.
What's the name of it? Is that the Aldi Grocery?
I'm not sure, but I guess it'd be easier just right now. Okay, I'm being told.
I thought so, but I didn't want to speak. Edward Willis, good morning.
He's here, President Maine.
Thank you.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Sir, good morning. It looks like they've charged you with possession of heroin, which was a $1,000 bond, and resisting obstructing an officer without violence, which does not require a bond. Does anybody wish to discuss his history or his ties?
Your Honor, the defendant is currently
How do you know that that's what this one is?
164435 MM10A for 1 count of domestic violence battery. Based on the court's finding of probable cause, he accesses trial status as moved at this time.
Anything you all want to say?
Nothing from
We
the
couldn't
state.
hear it, Your Honor.
He's apparently now on pretrial services, and they're seeking a revocation order due to this new arrest.
Do we know if the case was? Do we know if the case was filed, or
Which one? The possession?
the battery, the DV battery?
Can we ask you to look up a certain case number?
Of course, Judge.
16-12318 CF10A. Oh no, that's not it. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Oh, I'm wrong. That's wrong.
It's okay.
Try it again. 16
Yes.
004435 MM10A.
MM10A? Okay.
Yeah. 4435.
Got it.
See if it was filed. That's the question.
It has been, Your Honor, it's been filed. He's had numerous.
Okay, it's been filed. Okay. And so, because of the new allegation, I am revoking his pretrial services and placing a bond.
Your Honor, I'd be asking you to consider. He's been in South Florida his whole life, Your Honor. At this time, he's not working. He lost his job. He was a concrete finisher. At this point, he's looking for employment. He has no money in the bank, no property. We'd be asking you to impose a reasonable bond, Your Honor.
And what is his history?
Your Honor, well, first I'd also like to advise you, this isn't his first violation of pretrial. He already previously violated pretrial. Judge McHugh ordered him held no bond, and then under reconsideration gave him a $2,000 bond and put him back on pretrial. Additionally, yeah, I'm pulling that right now, Judge. Of course. 2012, possession of alprazolam and drug paraphernalia. He was convicted, violated his probation, sentenced to 300 days county jail. 02 DUI, he was convicted. I imagine it was his second DUI because I'm showing he was sentenced to 10 days in county jail, but it might not have been a second. I don't know.
First DUI.
Okay, I just didn't know because I know usually you get a jail sentence when.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
As I don't need to hear anymore.
Okay.
I've actually revoked his pretrial services, and I've put a bond on that misdemeanor battery at $5,000 based on the prior violation, et cetera.
Veterans Day.
Trial, as well as the PC is found on the possession of heroin at $1,000 bond, and resisting obstructing does not require a bond. Good luck, sir. John Durant.
Your Honor, I have a probable cause argument.
Okay, I'd like to hear the argument.
Judge, in reading the PC, unless I don't have any other paperwork, I don't see where he gave the officer a false ID or obstructed in any way. He asked for his ID, he provided his ID to confirm the warrant, and confirmed that there was a warrant in Texas. That's it. I don't see reason.
Apparently, the allegation for this is that he gave an incorrect social security number, so I think that's where that's coming from.
I just didn't see that on my paperwork unless I'm missing paperwork.
On the page, I would call it my second page.
How many pages do you have total, Judge? We might be missing a page.
Oh, okay, yes. What happened is that we do know that he did give the Texas ID, but on the second page it says, may I read it out loud? I asked Duran for social security number, he provided me with a number.
I'm missing a
During my records, a wanted hit came back with all Duran's information, including Texas ID number, along with his correct social security number, which is not what he gave him, it's a different number. I asked Duran the second time for a social security number, and he gave me an incorrect one again. So I think that, I'm just letting you know why. So I'm finding PC. As to count one of the false ID given to the Leo with a $100 bond, and there's an out-of-state hold, Mr. Durant, from Texas on case number F1611439 with a $3,500 bond, sir. And I wish you the best of everything, sir. Thank you.
No,
thank you.
No, we have
Edward
that page.
McKinney, another one of the RICO
This is the second
cases.
page.
Is Mr.
This
McKinney
is,
there?
I'll just show you. We have,
Hi, Mr. McKinney, I had a chance
there's
to read
another page.
the affidavit.
He declined PD, Your Honor.
Okay,
Maybe you don't
Mr. McKinney, please stand up closer, thank you. There's charge one is the racketeering violation from 16-318F10. That's a $250,000 bond. Count two is accessory after the fact of first degree felony, 16-318AF10, $250,000 bond. Count three is a delivery of cocaine within 1,000 feet of a school, child care, or park, 16-318AF10. $25,000 bond, and apparently, sir, you had a capias for a traffic matter, 16028910 TC38. That's a $1,000 bond by that judge. So, sir, you can get out of jail if you have $526,000. Probable cause is found for each count, and good luck, sir. Devin Thibault.
Devin Thibault, come on up, please.
Those are both.
Hi,
Just send
Mr.
him up on the
Thibault,
post.
you have a violation of probation for a felony warrant of 14008866CF10A. A no bond hold has been placed by that judge. You must go before that judge to determine if they'll give you a bond and or resolve the matter. I do find EC probable cause for your arrest. Thank you, good luck. Rafael Concepcion.
Mr. Concepcion, Rafael, he's coming up, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Yes.
Good morning, sir. It looks like count
Good
one is
morning.
a grand theft charge between $300 and $5,000. That is a $1,000 bond. Fraudulent uttering a false instrument has a $1,000 bond. Fraudulent insufficient funds check, making and uttering a false instrument of $150 or more is a $1,000 bond. I do find probable cause, however, does anyone want to say anything regarding the case?
Your Honor, in 2013, he was arrested for a battery that was false. The act that he released the supervision of pretrial services was not verified with address. According to pretrial, he must report to pretrial upon his release today and report at least twice per week by phone.
Any objection?
I have no objection.
Sir, would you like to go on pretrial services so you don't have to pay a bond? I can ROR you on your counts, but you must comply by calling in twice a week, as well as making sure you appear at all appointments and court hearings. Would you like that?
Can I advise him?
Of course. It's either that or you can't hear it.
Your Honor, respectfully, at this time, he believes his mother is going to go ahead and post his bond.
That's fine. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Excuse me, sir, can you call him back?
Yes, Your Honor.
Call him
Come on
back.
back.
Concepcion? Well, that's really what's the key. Can you call him back, please,
He's coming.
Mr. Concepcion?
He's right here.
Mr. Concepcion, you walked away very
Yes.
quickly, but I need to let you know that pretrial services called your mom. She does not have the money to bond you out. I can either let you try to find some other way to bond out or know that information and accept pretrial. Which do you wish to do?
Oh, you gonna call somebody else? He has somebody else to call.
Just want to make sure
Thank
he
you.
knows what's going on. Thank you.
I appreciate that, Your Honor.
Not a problem. Ronald Toombs?
Mr. Toombs, come on up. Ronald?
Hi, Mr. Toombs. It looks like they charged with a grand theft over $300, but less than $5,000. That bond is $1,000. And fraudulent uttering a false instrument is the second charge with a bond of $1,000. I do find PC for your arrest. Anybody want to say anything?
Nothing from the state, Judge.
No. All right, so your total bond is $2,000. You're welcome to go to that judge and ask for less bond or resolve it with the judge, but good luck to you, sir.
Your Honor, Mr. Toombs is respectfully requesting if you would consider placing him on pretrial release.
Is he qualified for pretrial release?
We are able to verify his address. Based on what he told us, he resides at a halfway house. We were independent of GC halfway house by then.
Well, let me ask you, counsel, can there be an order that if pretrial release is able to verify an address, that I would consider that, but I don't know, does he want that?
Well, right now, Your Honor, he lives at a halfway house, so I don't really know how pretrial could go ahead.
No, they can verify if the.
Pretrial was unable to verify that address. They will let him live there, and that's not a problem. Does he wish to get the pretrial release if possible?
Yes, Your Honor.
He does.
We are aware that he lives there. We just need to contact them.
I just want to make sure he wants to do pretrial.
Oftentimes, some of them talk
And it depends if they allow him to come back, you see? They need to verify that the halfway house will allow his return. You understand, counsel?
Yes.
Okay, counsel, you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Can I put pretrial pending verification?
Yes.
Thank you.
But if not, then it remains a $1,000 bond each count, right?
Yes, it does.
Fine, thank you. John Coletti?
He's here?
Coletti, good morning.
Hi, ma'am.
I don't know.
It looks like they've charged that you were defrauding an innkeeper under $300 as an allegation, $25 bond. But you also have an out-of-state hold on 15 CR 6295, and that's a $2,500 bond from that, no bond, but from that out-of-state hold. Basically, it says they will extradite the original charges of probation violation for assault, but they gave you a bond anyway, okay?
Now for a
Do
few
you
minutes,
understand?
the detectives on this will be
Thank
here to
you.
testify on the case.
Good luck. I do find TC
Yeah,
for the
did I
arrest.
mention how they did the drug food test?
Walter St. Tellis.
John.
Hi, Mr. St. Tellis. Good morning.
Sign him up.
It looks like they charge you with false owner information for a pawn item less than $300. That's a $1,000 bond. Loitering or prowling is a $25 bond, and dealing in stolen property is a $3,500 bond. Do either side want to say anything?
If he is.
Defense?
I'm sorry.
What do you guys need them for?
You want to say anything? Total
At
of
this point, Your Honor.
4525 bond. Anything you want to say?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
If you want to give, no, I have my call's number right here. If you want to give my call.
Lovan Gibbs.
It's right there. Oh,
Lovan Gibbs.
I sent the email to the wrong number.
Mr. Gibbs.
Here, I just hit that right there.
Mr. Gibbs is here?
I just realized.
Hello, ma'am. Hi, good morning.
I
get pretrial.
State tell me his history for count
I'm
one.
a senior this year.
Can you give me discuss your criminal history at this moment?
One moment, Your Honor.
But right now, for count one, it's a burglary of an unoccupied conveyance unarmed. Count two is a grand theft between $300 to $5,000. Count three is stealing stolen property, and count four is grand theft auto. Yes, that's okay. I was going to just talk about the bond real fast.
While the state is looking, on juvenile probation. He was just released from a medical treatment on the 26th of July. He's presently on juvenile probation.
I was just gonna say, if
Similar charges?
yes, if you'd like to hear the details, we can go sidebar. If not, okay.
Okay, sir, you're 18 now, and this is considered, of course, an adult charge. Count one is a burglary of an unoccupied dwelling, conveyance. And I'm gonna make that a $1,000.
Your Honor. How much?
1,000
So you want to hang out
for
for
the burglary,
We'll just give you the paperwork.
unoccupied conveyance. Count two is grand theft, over 300 but less than 5,000, and a $1,000 bond. Billy and stolen property is $500 bond, and count four grand theft, $1,000 bond. And he apparently is on a juvenile probation type for the same type of charges. So with that, I find this to be a reasonable bond under the circumstances. Did you want to tell me anything else, though?
Your Honor, speaking with Mr. Gibbs, he's been residing here in South Florida his whole life. He's 18 years old. He's currently employed. He works at McDonald's. He's been working there for 2 months, making $8.50. He also goes to school at Terravilla High School. He is a senior, Your Honor. He lives with his mother in Tamarack, Your Honor. No money in bank, no property. He's respectfully requesting if you would consider pretrial release an alternative to the monetary bond. He wants to continue going to school so he could potentially graduate this year.
Respectfully, pretrial is the one who told me about the similar charges, so I don't believe they'd feel he's eligible anyway, based on the fact that he's on probation in the juvenile case for the similar charges. I don't believe pretrial wants to take him, so respectfully denied. I believe these are reasonable under the circumstances. Do what you can to find out, or get to the judge and handle the case and see what they can do. Thank you so much. Brandon Brown? No relation. Mr. Brown?
Mr. Brown, come on up.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir. You have some cases
we'll just
that are
leave it
already
there.
pending. You had a capious on a misdemeanor, well, it's really a traffic criminal case. 15-0.
Your Honor, we can't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sir, you have some cases already pending. One is a capious, you were arrested on a warrant for 15-044-307, TC-28. I hear a lot of noise in the background. Is it where you
That's
are?
the issue.
Who's
Yeah.
talking there? Is it at the main jail? Yes. Oh, okay, no problem. Well, that's a $500 bond on that misdemeanor warrant.
Can't hear.
You have a charge of a robbery with no firearm or weapon from 16-01-02-06 CF-10A, and count 3 is a touch or battery strike from that same case.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
He is entitled to a bond on
Well, I
counts
think
2,
he has
3.
criminal history.
Your Honor, can I say something, please?
I'm sorry, I'm not done. According to the probable cause affidavit, it does say no bond, not just
Yeah,
hearing. But I
the-
know with the administrative order, you're gonna share with me again.
Yeah.
So I'd like to hear criminal
Of course.
history in order to determine what bond I will set.
Yes, Judge. 2012, possession of cannabis. 2008, possession of cocaine and carrying concealed weapon. And that is all, Judge.
Judge, just I'm not arguing probable cause. What I'm saying, I believe this incident happened in June. So it's a not in custody case, so it's not an issue of him avoiding prosecution or not failing to show up to court. So I would just ask the court to take that in consideration. I know a lot of these cases, not in custody cases, the person accusing, they may still be together. I haven't heard anything other since June that he's been arrested for any other crimes or allegations of violence since this incident allegedly took place.
What's confusing to me though is the probable cause has some written language that it says it was a robbery, sudden snatch with a weapon, yet it's charged as robbery with no weapon or firearm.
Your Honor, if I may, I'm checking the information right now. Sometimes there's discrepancies in the data entry.
Right.
When the officer first prepared the report, he listed the offense as strong arm robbery. I know the capious produced. Okay. What essentially, Your Honor, with this, what we did with the filing the charges, is separated the elements on the strong arm robbery and charged him with 1 count of robbery by sudden snatching and a 2nd count of battery.
Okay, so it's with sudden snatching.
Yes.
All right, so what I'm gonna do is, did you wanna say anything else, anyone?
The case. Yes, Your Honor. And,
Yes.
and speaking with Mr. Brown, Your Honor, he's been residing in South Florida for 27 years. He's currently working. He works at Margo Corporation at a warehouse, Your Honor. Makes $12.75 an hour. Also, he has a night job in which he works for AMC Movie Theater. He makes $10 an hour at that place. He has no money in the bank, no property, Your Honor. He'd be asking you if you consider pretrial release because he cannot financially post a bond for these offenses. Also, if the state, we couldn't hear what the state was explaining. If state could explain to us, I believe he said he was initially arrested on these charges and he was released. If you can give us some history regarding his date of arrest and what happened.
I'll check that. I don't believe there was.
Well, let me share with you that I'm very concerned in Brandon Brown's case because it's a very violent type robbery with the sudden snatching. Is alleged that that's where the battery comes in. It's allegedly pulling hair, taking her cell phone, striking the alleged victim in the face. There was a child present as the woman was trying to get her child to a doctor. It seems somewhat violent in the nature, in the writing within the court PC.
And
Yes.
Your Honor, I can advise the court, he's never been formally arrested on these charges. I'm looking at a review on BSO pics of all his previous Broward arrests. And that's why this was created as a not in custody capias.
All right, okay, thank you. As to count one, as I said, it's a $500 bond. Count two, it's $25,000 bond. Count three is $5,000 bond based on the nature of the charges, the violent nature in which it occurred, alleged.
And Your Honor?
Causes found, all charges. No contact with the victim.
And Your Honor, because we're going to request, this is a domestic violence case, so we're going to ask for a domestic violence. It's assigned to Judge Cohen.
Father's Day, and she came downtown and I got the paper at home that she dropped the charges, and that she wrote a waiver.
I'm not part of that process. However, I recommend that you tell all that to any attorney you are assigned and or the judge you are assigned. Good luck.
But I mean, I thought I got released on the same thing. I went to jail on this charge.
Okay, he said he went to jail on this charge.
Your Honor, and I'm looking at BSO pics right now, which keeps track of every single arrest.
I went to jail for this Father's Day.
He was arrested October 19th, 2016. His most recent arrest previous to that was April 12th, 2012, and I searched based on his BCCN number, which is attached to his fingerprints.
Sir, unfortunately, it's not showing up on what we would look at with BSO's arrest record. They show the last arrest for you was in 2012, except this one, October 19th.
So they don't have when
They have
took
not,
they
so-
alleged they took the car from Jessica. That's my mother, the mother of my child.
Yes.
When she came beside the car, the BSO officer and Palm Beach officer was right there on hand.
Maybe he was arrested in Palm Beach.
I went to jail the
Let me
day
ask
of.
you a question. Were you arrested
Hillsborough
in
is not Palm Beach. I got arrested on Hillsborough Road. That's Deerfield / Boca.
I don't know what to say. There's nothing here about it.
The Palm Beach officer had hold me. BSO, he was on the phone with BSO deputies. They told.
Palm Beach held him there, but
Oh well.
And I got my release forms and I got my papers and all. That this charge right here was.
There's nothing really to do. I mean,
that's double jeopardy.
This is his first appearance. He's not been formally arrested and had a
That
first
is, I went to jail for this already.
He's not been.
unfortunate. I don't know. They aren't finding what you're saying as accurate. However, it doesn't mean you're not telling me accurate information. It just has to be researched, but we can't do it today because what he did research does not say that, Mr. Brown. So I need to.
And this robbery with or without firearm is the car. The car that I was in.
I'm talking the fact.
No, I'm telling her the car was. They called the car in stolen.
Okay, all I can tell you
me
is
and
I'm
her
not
lived
hearing
together.
the case today. I'm only hearing.
Yeah, I'm saying this charge right here. I went above. I already seen the judge and all. He already and the lady already gave me third-party contact and everything, and they denied it.
Well, that
when I
sounds
went
like a
down
family
here,
case
I got
that's
all that paper
described.
from Jessica
What was the
Brown.
judge's name?
It was a lady. I don't know her name, but I got the paperwork and all. I'm not
No
lying.
criminal judge at a first appearance would award third-party custody.
Well, sir, unfortunately, we
What?
don't have a judge in this county that would have a first appearance and give you
For the last 3 months, I've been carrying around a paper that says that I already been tried for this.
Do you have it in your property?
No, Officer Mike, Deputy Michael, I guess Officer Mike from Broward Sheriff's Office. He even came to my house, and I provided this paper for him. And they even brought up that I didn't have a warrant or no.
And he still arrested you?
Yeah, I got arrested.
And he still arrested you even though you gave him all that information?
No, he didn't arrest me. That's the point. Just last night, they walked up to me and said I had a warrant since September 9th. And I was like, I went to jail for this.
It's unfortunate,
and I know
sir,
I went to jail.
There's absolutely nothing I can do right now. However, if you want me to reset this for tomorrow, giving you all a chance to review this.
Yeah, I mean, Your Honor, I've already looked through.
But I don't know. Maybe there's something we're missing. I mean, we're all human.
Here, I'll run an additional search in Odyssey under his name.
Okay, he's gonna look you up.
Is it any chance, Miss? Is there any chance that I can have lenient, because I have 2 jobs and my kids?
No, sir.
There we go.
Under the facts I have right now, I cannot, in good conscience, do that. However, if you're right, I will definitely help you with that. But from the information they're providing me today, it is absolutely impossible for me to help you the way you seek. I can't do it. Have a seat. Just have a seat. Let me put you on recall a minute. I'll put him on recall. We'll do Donnie Lyons. Donnie Lyons, are you there? Let me ask the officer, aren't you on Donnie Lyons?
I'm cooperating on the case too. If I can get pre-trial, maybe I'll.
Confirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. I was looking through the probable cause affidavit today, and I saw that there's an allegation of a number of different drugs found allegedly on Mr. Lyons or in possession of some sort, but I didn't see any evaluation or testing of the drugs to see that they are actually these drugs, so.
They were field tested positive by Detective Brasso of Hollywood Police Department.
Okay,
And
go ahead.
Detective, the pills, were they identified by poison control? Or by the detective or by poison control?
By poison control. Detective called poison control and it was identified.
And that's Detective Brazo?
It was by Detective Dockland.
How do you spell that?
Doklean.
Okay, I know I have heroin, 23.1 grams. Who tested that?
Oh, Brasso. Brasso tested all the narcotics. And
The cocaine?
Yes, ma'am.
The cannabis?
Brasso.
And then alprazolam and methamphetamine was who?
Dockland.
Dockland. And they were by poison control
Yes, ma'am.
information? Okay, because I needed to know that they were all positive for the
Yes, ma'am.
drugs alleged. All right. All right, Mr. Lyons, if you please stand up. Thank you. Count 1 is trafficking cocaine of 28 grams or more, but less than 200 grams. That's got a $15,000 bond. Count 2 is trafficking in heroin 14 grams or more, but less than 28 grams. That's a $250,000 bond. Count 3 is possession of cannabis 20 grams or less with a $100 bond. Count 4 is possession of alprazolam, also known as Xanax, $1,000 bond. Count 5 is possession of methamphetamine, it's a $1,000 bond. And count 6 is possession of drug paraphernalia, is a $100 bond. Anything anybody wants to say?
Your Honor, he's requesting if you would consider pretrial release.
Based on my record. Look at my record. I've never been to prison, never had anything. I just made a mistake.
I'll look at his record.
He has a couple of heroin arrests.
Let's see if there were convictions though. I don't count just arrests.
I think he has 1 felony conviction and 1 misdemeanor conviction.
Your Honor,
What's current?
I'm checking that right now.
That's 10 years.
Family here. I got no bond, no way to bond out, nothing. The rules and everything. Showed up, did my piss test, did before. And then I went to my court date and they dropped it. The cases.
He had a grand theft out of Jacksonville in 06, a theft out of Clay County in 06. They were convicted. He was convicted of both. Your Honor, I can also tell you, when it comes to these type of charges, specifically the trafficking charges, really, even not having priors isn't. It's a mitigator to only a certain extent. I know. I'm just making a record, Your Honor, because as the courts are. No. As the court's aware, if he is to be convicted, regardless of his record of these charges, he faces minimum mandatory prison sentences.
And any others besides those criminal?
That's his record.
Anything the defense wants to say? Thank you. All right, sir, your bond is going to remain $15,000 for count one, $250,000 for count two, $100 for count three, $1,000 for count four, $2,000 for count five, and $100. So I think it's a total of $267,200 you can get out of jail, sir. Please feel free to go to the judge who has the case to ask for reduction in bond, and also
Thank you, Your Honor.
good luck to you, sir. PC is found. Jose Caraballo. Thank you. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming in. Mr. Caraballo, you had a violation of probation felony warrant out on case number 16-007-238-CF-10A. The judge has ordered a no bond hold, sir. I do find probable cause for your arrest. Good luck. Please make sure you speak to that judge about either setting a bond and or resolving the case. Thank you. Ronald Ross.
All right, that's it. No one. You're done. Go. Ronald Ross.
Hi, Mr. Ross. It looks like you have been, they allege you were driving a license suspended as an habitual traffic offender. That has a $750 bond because of being habitual. Count two is a habeas on the felony of 16-011-291-CF-10A. A no bond hold has been ordered by that judge. The same for count three, the same case number, same no bond hold by that judge. You'll have to go back to that judge and ask for a bond and or resolve the matter and then find police for your arrest. Thank you.
And, Your Honor, anytime you wish, if you want to recall Mr. Brown's case.
Brandon Brown.
I've pulled up.
Mr. Brown, come on up, please.
Okay, if you wanted to be able to see for yourself.
I believe you.
Yeah, no, I know. Your Honor, and I printed out what I already mentioned to the court about BSO pics. I checked Odyssey under his name. It does not show any other 2016 case involving a robbery. Your Honor, I checked in my system to see if there was possibly a separate non-in-custody investigation that regarding this type of matter. The state has not had any other kind of investigation into Mr. Brown other than this offense and the traffic offense that is also listed on his, that he's being held on since 2012.
Okay, but what about, I see what's your middle name, sir?
Christopher.
Christopher, okay. That's what I
And I've been checking by his date of...
Brandon Brown, sir. I want to make sure I look at the right one.
Yeah, I've been checking by date of birth, Your Honor, to make sure. Your Honor, there's just nothing that I can see or would be able to see that indicate that he's appeared before a judge on these charges previously.
So,
Sir, what's your
Mr. Lunder, he hasn't been arrested at all?
What's your date of birth?
March 10, 1989, man.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say he hasn't been arrested because I don't have personal knowledge. What I do know...
What I have here, though...
I just got out of jail, man.
What is the case number for us today?
But the same thing.
One moment, Judge. It's 16-10206.
What does this mean?
This is what?
26 of 2016.
It's not bad. It's not good.
One moment.
There's one thing, Your Honor. I know Mr. Lunder said he hasn't been in custody since 2012, but the capias is a 2015 case. So that by itself raises a little bit of an alarm.
What do you see here? Let me go back to the very front page to make sure.
That's the Odyssey. That's
this case right here. So I have the Judge Cohen felony, and it's a pending case.
That's this case.
I know, but what's it mean? 8/26/16. What is that? August.
My case was closed.
That means, and what I also did, Your Honor, is I printed out the Odyssey for that page.
Because he's saying he's already got.
That's when we filed the non-custody information.
Okay,
and you can see
that's
it was just served.
Okay, I see.
That's the first page, Your
Okay,
Honor.
so yeah, we don't see where there's a female involved. It looks like it's going to be given to Jeffrey Cohen as a felony, and therefore not where he would have had a female judge give him a.
There's just nothing. I mean.
No other magistrate hearing. I'm sorry, sir. It just doesn't seem to add up to what you're saying. So respectfully, we're going to go ahead and just continue with what I said earlier, and you'll have to talk to your judge and or attorney and get you to that judge to further investigate. But he's done all the investigation he can, and we've got paperwork here.
And he's scheduled for a status conference before Judge Cohen on Monday at 9:30.
Monday is his court date, for the record. Andrew
Monday is his court date?
Gurnavaj.
All right.
Andrew Gurnavaj. Thanks for trying.
Of course.
Hi, Mr. Gurnavaj. It looks like they have charged you, well, they haven't charged you, but it's alleged, petty theft, and has a $25 bond, but there's also apparently a violation of probation warrant and a no bond hold by that judge. And I do find probable cause for your arrest. You'll have to go before that judge to see if there's it was a case of 16-03278 for a criminal mischief, a violation of a felony.
If I can get it.
Maybe for violation of probation. Thank you, sir. Probable cause.
Your Honor,
Yes.
on his, when's he going to be seeing his probation judge? Because I don't have it marked on my docket.
And I don't have it either. Can you find that out?
So we can let him know?
Well, I'd like to know that. If it is any, but we don't have anything either, so. Any way to find out if there's a next date?
If it's not on the docket, then it hasn't got it.
It hasn't been said. I didn't know. Anybody know any other way to find out?
As soon as they bring the paperwork back, I'm sure it'll be scheduled on that judge's next available date, I would imagine.
Yeah, you'll be seeing the judge in a couple of days.
I know. That's just how I know the system works.
Pinto Garcia. Mr. Garcia, please come up.
Mr. Garcia's here?
Hi, Mr. Garcia. For count one, they say you were allegedly trafficking in heroin 4 grams or more, but less than 14 grams. There's a bond on that of $75,000. There's a drug paraphernalia charge, which does not require a bond. But the case that might be outstanding for you of selling heroin within 1,000 feet of a school or child care or park is 16-0404 AF10A, and that itself has a $15,000 bond. So for $90,000, sir, you can get out of jail. I do find probable cause for your arrest. Anybody say anything? No? Good.
Yes, Your Honor. He's asking if you consider lowering his bond. He's been in South Florida 17 years. He's not employed. He only has $200 in the bank, no property. He's asking you if you would consider reducing count one.
Frankly, his bond should probably be increased. He was placed on 10 years supervised release, federal release, last year for possession of narcotics with intent to distribute.
Well, I'm going to do him a favor and not increase it. So I'm leaving it the way it is.
Thank you, Your Honor.
He needs to have his federal cases checked into now.
Oh, Lord.
That's going to be another issue. Richard Green.
That's a med
Mr. Green. Oh, medical loan?
Med Reset?
Yes.
Mr. Ralph Regalbuto?
Regalbuto. Hi, Mr. Regalbuto. It looks like they have a charge of a DUI with drugs or alcohol, your third offense within 10 years. Also, a DUI with property damage or injury to another, and driving under the influence with a blood alcohol level of 0.15 or more, with having a person in your vehicle under the age of 18 years old. To count one, do you want to talk to me? Anybody want to talk to me about his history and his community ties?
Just to advise, Your Honor, reviewing his driving record, his previous DUI was a 2010 conviction out of Marion County, and he also has a DUI conviction out of the state of New Jersey in 2004.
Okay. Anything by the defense?
Yes, Your Honor. He's been residing in South Florida for 25 years. He has 2 jobs. He works at Gulfstream riding horses, Your Honor, and he also works for Dakota Construction, Your Honor. He lives in Hallandale. He owns no property. He'd be asking you to set a reasonable bond as count one.
Count one, the bond is $2,500. Count two is the $1,000, and count three is the $1,000. So you can get out of jail for $4,500. I do find probable cause for your arrest. No alcohol, no intoxicants while on bond. And I don't know how we get a random screen. How about, I'm gonna do pending pretrial. I want him to see if pretrial can drug screen, non-alcohol screen while he's out for purposes of making sure he's no alcohol, no intoxicants while on bond. Yes.
Thank you.
It's the robbery case.
Oh, good.
Brandon Brown.
Okay.
Sorry about that, yeah, Brown.
Bond plus pretrial is what I want. That's exactly what I
Okay.
want. Thank you for letting me know about that.
All
I
right,
want to make
you're
sure
done.
you guys would take him, that's why I said pending, but if you'll take him, we're good. Yes.
Jonathan Dusan?
Oh, can I also call back Mr. Regobuto?
Oh, Mr. Regobuto? Right here.
He's to be drug screened at least once a week at his own expense. Thank you. Drug and alcohol screen. Thank you. On pretrial.
Thank you.
They just want to make sure I tell them that commission.
You bonded out? Yeah. For how much? 25?
Mr.
$4,500.
Dustin?
All right. Mr. Dusan?
Hi, Mr. Dusan. You have a violation of probation warrant that was served from 16-000-582 CF10A. That judge in that case has made it a no bond hold, so you'll have to go before that judge to determine if they'll give you a bond or resolve the matter. I do find probable cause for your arrest. And the last one I have is Sabata Martin.
Mr. Martin?
Yes, Mr. Martin, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
It looks like they allege that you were driving with a license suspended as a habitual offender, which is a $750 bond based on the nature of it being a habitual status. And there's a resisting or obstructing without violence, but there's no bond required for that. Anybody want to say anything?
I'm not seeking any modification.
Do I qualify for pretrial or ROR?
Well, you don't qualify for ROR because it's habitual status. However, does pretrial wish to accept him? I don't know what his history
He's been to prison in the past for DWS habitual offender.
Sir, it's unfortunate you have a criminal history that would make pretrial not within your reach.
He wasn't able to give us an address. His brother did say he was attempting to post it.
Your brother's attempting to post your bond, sir, and it's unfortunate they couldn't verify an address for you, but I believe your brother's going to try to help you, okay?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Walked away. Probable cause is found. Anything else I can do to help today? Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure working
All right,
with all of
Judge.
you.
Where are you?
Thank you.
Judge.